Did we really land on the moon in 1969, or was it all an elaborate hoax? On July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong stepped onto the lunar surface and uttered those famous words. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. But for decades, conspiracy theories have claimed it never happened. Let's dive into the evidence and separate fact from fiction. The Cold War was raging when President Kennedy promised to put a man on the moon before the decade was out. NASA was under immense pressure to beat the Soviets in the space race. This pressure, conspiracy theorists argue, led NASA to fake the landing rather than risk failure. Their evidence? The waving flag in the vacuum of space, strange lighting in photographs, and the lack of stars in the lunar sky. Pretty compelling, right? Well, not exactly. Let's tackle these claims one by one. The flag appears to wave because of momentum, after the astronauts set it up, not wind. Once they let go, it remains static. The physics actually check out perfectly. As for the lighting inconsistencies, they're easily explained by the moon's unique environment. The lunar surface is highly reflective, and without an atmosphere to diffuse light, shadows appear sharper and more dramatic than on Earth. What looks suspicious to untrained eyes is exactly what scientists would expect. And those missing stars? Simple camera exposure. The bright lunar surface required camera settings that made faint stars invisible. Basic photography principles at work. But what about the radiation? Conspiracy theorists claim astronauts couldn't have survived the deadly Van Allen radiation belts surrounding Earth. In reality, the Apollo missions were carefully timed and trajectories plotted to minimize radiation exposure. The astronauts passed through the belts quickly, receiving radiation equivalent to a chest X-ray. Perhaps the most compelling evidence supporting the moon landing's authenticity comes from outside the United States. Soviet tracking stations monitored the mission in real time. If their Cold War archenemy had faked it, they would have been the first to expose the fraud. They never did. Then there's the Lunar samples, over 842 pounds of moon rocks brought back across 6 Apollo missions. These rocks have unique properties unlike anything found on Earth, including exposure to cosmic rays without atmospheric protection, and no trace of water or organic compounds. Thousands of scientists worldwide have studied these samples for decades without finding evidence of fraud. The logistics of faking the landing would have been staggering. Over 400,000 people worked on the Apollo program. Not one has come forward with credible evidence of a hoax, despite the fame and fortune such a revelation would bring. As astronaut Chris Hadfield once said, it would have been harder to fake it than to do it. Modern technology has validated the landings too. In 2009, NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter photographed the Apollo landing sites, showing the equipment left behind, including the lunar modules and even the tracks made by the astronauts. But perhaps the most overlooked aspect is this. We didn't just go to the moon once. We went 6 times, with Apollo missions 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Each mission brought back different samples, photographs, and data. Maintaining such an elaborate hoax across multiple missions would be virtually impossible. So why do these conspiracy theories persist? Psychologists suggest they fulfill our need for certainty in an uncertain world. Big events demand big explanations, and sometimes the truth that humans achieve something extraordinary through ingenuity and determination seems less satisfying than a grand conspiracy. As we look to the future, with plans to return to the moon, it's worth remembering that the greatest achievement isn't just that we went there. It's that we did it with 1960s technology, using computers less powerful than today's smartphones. Like and share if you think the moon landing was real, or if you're still skeptical. Subscribe for more mind-blowing theories.